Hey, we're back from these Lostbelt 7, Nahui, Mictlan. This part 2 to the rest of that section just released it by yesterday. Boy, it's gonna be such a long journey for that. Act 11 to 20 on part 2, and then the finale is probably like where the RRT race begins. I don't know anything about it, so any of you guys have already beaten this or speedrunning for that, please don't spoil me about that story and stuff like that, because I don't know anything about it. Anyway, Life in Chichen Itza 2. Alright.
Welcome, Chaldeans. Everyone here at Chicken Itza is thrilled to have you. I know you're here for personal reasons, and that you don't mean any of those living in Mictlan any harm. How do I know that? Well, I've been listening in on you all from the start, of course. Hear that? These people are not our enemies. I, Kukulkan, the teachers of the sun, declare that all dinos should treat them as friends. So it's like that. Guess I've got even more dead weight to carry now. Vukub, issue a decree permitting dinos to discuss proper human history with the Chaldeans. Write it to say that they are a friendly species and are far more like dinos than Osalome.
With all due respect, these people are obviously Osalome in all the ways that matter. I would go so far as to say they are even worse. They are obviously of the same species as a cryptor who has brought this wicked culture here in Mictlan.
Yes, they are the same species as the cryptor. They know about all kinds of civilizations and plenty of other naughty things. But it's also not fair for Mexico City to receive the benefits of foreign culture while Chichen Itza goes without, right? I'm sure the dinos will take this opportunity to learn, and not just about the good things, but the bad as well. It's okay, Vukub. Dinos are smart. They're not about to change their entire way of life over this. Chaldea's values can just be a cherry on top, so to speak. This may be the most exciting development for them since corn on the cob.
Very well, Lady Kukulkan. I shall do as you say.
He wasn't even trying to hide his hostility.
May I say something now?
Oh, right. You're Chaldea's representative. Fine. Keep it quick.
Very well. First of all, I want to thank you for your hospitality. Though proper human history and Lostbelts are generally at odds, right now, we share a common every intescatable.
I'm as uninterested in your justifications as I am in your flattery. I told you, be quick. Even had the Osalome never appeared, we still would not see proper human history as our enemy. That irritating woman called you friends. That's good enough for the dinos. Now, what do you need? I can see clearly that your ship's a complete wreck. Sorry, our resident god doesn't know how brutishly strong she is. I'm guessing her rough handling left some of your crew pretty banged up. You may use the human medical instruments I had made for me. If you need more, I'll have the priest increase production.
Really? I mean, now that you mention it, you do look human yourself, but... Well, for one thing, may I ask exactly what sort of relationship you have with Tezcatlipoca? Because from where we stand, both the Tezcatlipoca, Mexico City, and you, Tezcatlipoca, the king of dinosaurs, would seem to be the same god for proper human history.
Nothing to worry about there. Yeah, we're both Tezcatlipoca, but that doesn't make us friends. Gods have multiple aspects. Ours just happen to exist separately. You're a mage. You should understand what I'm getting at.
Does that mean he's a different Tezcatlipoca from the one David summoned? A rogue servant, perhaps? It is said that Tezcatlipoca had multiple divinities, So I suppose the story would make sense if he was one of them.
What else? Can you repair your ship yourselves?
Oh, yes, we can. But we could certainly use more helping hands and materials. Do you have any you can spare?
Ha! You liked that one, didn't you? You must be a terrible poker player. You do realize the commander of an army shouldn't just leap at the first feast offered to them, right? I don't mind seeing people are so desperate. Especially guys like you who usually do all they can to hide how they feel. Tapu is with you, right? Alright, I'll lend you some dinos and you can serve as your go-between. You should ask the dinos for help with the materials you need too. You'll finish a lot faster that way. From proper human history perspective, Mictlan's a damn treasure trove of resources. You won't have any trouble finding whatever you need here.
I see. Thank you once again, King of Dinosaurs. So, how much are we going to have to pay? You're, not going to demand we offer one of us as a sacrifice, are you? Why are you laughing? Is it because I nailed it? The culture is so different, I just can't tell at all.
What do you think, King? Should we take them up on his offer and sacrifice one of them? What? You visit Mexico City once and now you've gone full carnivore? Fine. Liver's an acquired taste, but it's still great. I prefer my meat raw, but since you're just starting out, you should cook yours. You're getting the runs would make for a legend that spread through Mictlan like wildfire. Imagine it, the mighty Kukulkan holed up in the bathroom for hours on end, with vulgarity on full display. That's never going to happen because I'm never going to eat any meat. Besides, the sun will never hide. No self-respecting god would block off a cave with the boulder so she could hide in it, for purely personal reasons.
Actually... Mamo?
I appreciate the offer, Godov, but we don't need a sacrifice. We're not making a deal. We're just helping you the way anyone in Mictlan would. So please, don't be afraid to ask the dinos to help with whatever they can. Yeah, if you people really want to repay our hospitality, the best thing you can do is fix your ship and get it out of Chichen Itza as soon as possible. We don't need you fighting the crypto anywhere near here. Cleaning this place up after a battle would be a major hassle. Alright, we're done here, yeah? We've exchanged pleasantries and everything, so go back to your crew. I never waste time. You got to make sure your memories are as meaningful as they can be. Ah, you're so earnest, King. Alright then, I'll let you handle the solar sojourn on your own. So you're going with Chaldea? Well, that's fine. Suit yourself. Besides, you being here wouldn't make my job any easier. At least this way, you'll be out of my hair. Thanks for signing off, King. Okay, Gordov, Sulfrost, let's get back to the border. That's where we'll find Mash, the President, Kadok, Da Vinci, Scion, and a few other servants, right? Oh, this is gonna be fun! I can't wait to speak to them in person. Oh, you're back. How did your audience with the King of Dinosaurs go? Great. We got permission to stay and a promise for help with the repairs. That's great news. Now we can finally catch our breath. So, having said that, we do still have a ton of work ahead. I've been going through the reports of your activities since we arrived. And there's just way too much about this place that doesn't make sense. This Lostbelt's prime species, the dinos. Kukulkan? The god they worship, and the only one to exist in all of Mictlan. And then there's the Tezcatlipoca who attacked the Storm Border. Chicken Itza King of Dinosaurs says he's Tezcatlipoca too. But we can set that aside for now. Yes, he's Tezcatlipoca as well, but he's also pretty clearly not our enemy. No, our problem here is David and the Tezcatlipoca who is his servant.
There's also the Osalome, who believe in the Aztec mythology David and Tezcatlipoca have been spreading, and Mexico City, where they all live. Apparently, ORT is going to put in an appearance there sometime in the near future. On top of all that, the storm border still needs extensive repairs, and then...
Is something wrong, young miss? You look as though this entire world displeases you. Now that Soapbox and Commander Gordov have returned from the altar, shouldn't you, their ruler, offer a word of encouragement?
Yes, but there's no reason I need to do it now, right? They don't seem injured or anything.
Then what about making a presidential declaration to the rest of Chaldea's staff? I recall you very much looking forward to that. Watching from a distance simply doesn't seem like you. Have you had a change of heart, perhaps? For instance, do you now clearly remember who you really care?
And what if I do? It doesn't matter. I'm still not so much as a single AU closer to remembering anything about myself.
I see. A pity. But if that is true, you should have no difficulty joining the conversation. Are you sure you don't want to give a rousing campaign speech? I grant you that Kukulkan has taken over the coveted position of most powerful fighter. I understand your reluctance, as that position is your entire purpose in life.
It's not a competition. Now shut up.
And then there's the problem of what to do about those two, you Olga Marie and Rasputin. Honestly, I have no idea how to act around them. Rasputin in particular I can't ever forgive, but setting that aside for now. She may have lost her memories, but you Olga Marie is still the foreign guide. In the end, or really, from start to finish, she's the clearest enemy we got. With Holmes gone for the time being, it's my job to serve as both technical and administrative advisor. And speaking about capacities, I just don't think we can trust her lightly. Or at least, we shouldn't consider her a dependable fighter. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter how many times she's helped you so far, or even that she saved us in Mexico City.
So, just because she's helping us now doesn't make her a true ally?
Essentially, yes. Believe me, I wish we could rely on her, but Holmes was always the one who handled these kinds of tricky situations before. Without him here... so what about Konyanskaya then? Oh, she's fine. We don't have to worry about her. Trismegistus too early concluded that she's definitely a servant of Chaldeas. That is, humanity's side. Anyway, for the time being, the rest of the staff is inside the storm border recuperating from the shock of being shaken around like crazy when Kukulkan slept the border here. That includes Munieri too. As a result, we fortunately haven't been able to take a vote on Olga Marie yet. I'll explain the situation to everyone once they've recovered from their motivation sickness. When I do, if even one of them feels like they can't accept her being here, then I plan to respect that. Are you two okay with that?
Yes.
I understand. If you think we need unanimous approval, I have no problem with that.
Well, if you're all okay with that, then I have no objections here, either. Regardless of who that so-called president of Earth truly is, the fact remains that she looks just like Olga Marie. I wasn't around for the Venus Chaldea days, so I can't imagine how the staff ruler must feel about this. So it would be foolish of me to use my authority to shut them down on the grounds that we need all the help we can get right now. So if any staff of the border, starting with Munieri, say they refuse to accept Olga Marie's help, then that will be the end of it as far as I'm concerned. Having said that, Munier, Tomlin, Octavia, Jin, Kayani, Elron, Kawada, and Marcus. Every single one of them is a veteran of Chaldea. They've all been through hell and lived to tell the tale. So, while they may not be thrilled, I am confident they won't think twice about bringing an old enemy or two into the fold.
Yeah, you're right.
Excuse me, are you finished with your discussion? I'm sorry to interrupt. I was keeping my distance since it seemed like you were dealing with a number of interpersonal issues.
but I felt like I needed to speak up before the dinos behind me started getting out of hand. Good day, Chaldeans. You must be Da Vinci, yes? I'm Tapu. I met Mash and Soapbox in the first stratum, and I've been accompanying them ever since. And these dinos here behind me are...
That's right, it's us! Your dependable, locally sourced labor! The Dino Trust Brothers 11!
That's rolling. What are y'all doing here? Are you out on a run?
No big sis, Mash. This isn't about exocta practice. Master Tapu asked us to come help repair your ship.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
It's good to see you guys again. You're gonna be a huge help. Right? Real talk. We never carried anything heavier than a exocta ball before, but we'll manage.
That they will, because I will be managing them. The Dino Trust brothers are all very fast runners, so I'm going to have them secure and transport resources. We'll make sure you have all the materials you need so that you can simply focus on making repairs to your... hello? Is something wrong? Are you not getting enough sunlight?
Technical Minister Advisor? What's wrong? You look like you've just seen a ghost.
Sirs.
Oh.
Sirs. Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs! Real life dinosaurs! What an explosion! What artistic masterpieces! I can't believe it! The dinos really are dinosaurs! This is incredible! I want to touch him!
Alright, we remember that Summer Da Vinci does that. She's into like archaeologist with dinosaur type, yeah.
Sorry about that. I only just woke up, so I'm still a little wonky. I'm Leonardo da Vinci, Chaldea's resident engineer. And you must be Tapu, the dinos who's been helping Soapbox and Mash. Pleasure to meet you.
She's acting like nothing happened. The pleasure's all mine. Now, on the subject of repairing your ship, I'm afraid we can't be of much direct aid since we don't understand the ship or its construction. But if you tell us what resources you require for these repairs, we can gather them easily enough. You're also very welcome to stay at my house if any of you wish to spend a night in the city. You are our guest, and we are very happy to give you whatever welcome we can.
No way! That's awesome! I definitely want to check out the Big Dino City. Oh, but, only to increase my understanding of the Lostbelt. Yeah. Yeah. We need to know everything we can about Mictlan's history and culture. Yep. So if it's no trouble...
Not at all. I would be thrilled to have your company. Having the opportunity to talk to a sage of proper human history is a genuine miracle, after all. Oh, right. There's something else we need to do first. I'm sure you need at least a few days to finish your repairs. So you need to secure your own safety by eliminating the carnivorous insects and other beasts in the area.
Oh, carnivorous insects, eh? Just hearing that makes me want to pack up and go home. I feel it in my bones. Soapbox, Mash. Ludicrous and Nemo are still recovering, so I want you two to handle this yourselves.
Yes, sir.
That won't be a problem. We've encountered these creatures several times already. Come on, Master. The two of us alone should be able to... Kukulkan? What? You're gonna go chase off all the beasties that might bother you, right? So I'm coming with. I set this ship down here to begin with. Plus, I've been wanting to see how you guys fight. Etiquette isn't my strong suit, but I hope you don't mind if I fight alongside your heroes of proper human history regardless.
Let me see. Shit. What does that? I'm pretty sure. I don't know what third scale. 3 turns. No, not with it. I'm trying to think which is the best way. The Pierce invincibility. Gonna have to change this one because fucking MASH. Just have to ruin it. Back in line. Oof. Man. Alright.
お返しをしなくてはね。ちゃんと見てて。適当にやっとくわ。夏の女神が主情に告げる。踊りなさいな、騒ぎなさいな。すっきり。
Fuck. Just wasn't enough.
そうきたか。
I guess I will break that one.
いいともけないぞ。えい。ここでまっすぐ尻尾バーン。
Oh, really?
望まれることは望まれたように適当にやっとくわ。それはいつか来る兆しの星。誰に呼ばれるまでもなくあなたは星をかざすでしょう。アラウンドスカイバーン。見栄はいらぬと申しても夏の暑さに喉カラカラ。息吹の御霊八脈怒涛。ご苦労様。
Alright, let me see what's next. So, Arrow 2, no fight. Arrow 3, yes. Two, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6 have fight, but some limitations to be bringing fucking shit. Alright. Right. Okay, some of you I'm meeting for the first time, so let me introduce myself. My name's Leonardo da Vinci. I'm Chaldea's technical and administrator of Fight. You can just think of me as a peerless genius who can do anything she sets her mind to.
I'm Nitocris, a caster servant. I'm told you're the dinos who guarded the border while I was recovering. For that, you have my thanks. I was once Pharaoh, though briefly. As such, I always repay my debts in full.
Huh? What are you talking about? All I did was chase off a few Osalome. Everything is such a big deal to you guys. Worry less, or you just wear yourselves out.
I see you as a strong... I see you are as strong a body as you are of heart, Warrior Wak-chan. You're admirably altruistic dinos.
You think? What's an ultra-istic?
I guess I will go next then. I am Scion Eltnob Sokaris, one of Chaldea's allies. Thank you for rescuing us from those altars. I really appreciate it. Tezcatlipoca gave us some questionable herbs which puts us to sleep, so I do not recall what happened. But it sounds like you went through quite the ordeal there. You'll have to tell me all about it later. Huh? It says, oh, there is. Where's everyone?
The Nemos are staying with the border since it's built on top of the Nautilus. Captain Nemo simply moving away is enough to dramatically decrease its functionality. So he's staying behind to help get the border back up and running as soon as humanly possible. And the staff members' rooms are all still intact, so they said they'd prefer to rest there. As for Commander Gordov...
Chicken Itza, the city of dinos, eh? Normally, I would only let the field operatives go somewhere like that. But I can see you have your heart set on this regardless. Okay, you have my permission. Me? Of course not. I never set foot anywhere so dangerous if I could possibly help it. You've seen Wak-chan yourself, right? He may be nice and understanding, but his abilities are terrifying. Remember when he just casually swiped his tail to shoo off some insect and knock down a tree that was over 10 meters tall? This city of dinos may as well be a city of giants. Going there as a tourist is practically a death sentence. Suffice to say, I'm not setting one foot outside the border. My personal room and a command room may both be under repair at the moment. But fortunately, I'm really used to using the hangar as my temporary personnel room. At this point, I'll gladly take working air conditioning over almost anything else. I know what you mean. The heat here in Mictlan's been ridiculous. Just standing out in the jungle is enough to make me miss Russia's weather. I don't know how Sopras and MASH handle it. You're telling me? I read their report on the Sixth Singularity. And I suppose they weren't exaggerating about the heat in Jerusalem. It wasn't even this hot back when I attended the Dakar rally as a spectator. Hang on. You're staying on the border too, Kadok? You do know you don't have a room here, right? Yeah, I know. My cell's pretty much gone after the whole crash thing. But Sopra said I could stay in his room as long as I liked in the meantime.
Oh, so you two are staying on the border? Then I think I'll set up camp here as well. We may have gotten rid of the nearby hostile wildlife, but there's no telling when more Osalome may try to attack. And since I'm a Chaldean servant, it's only right that I do my part to ensure you all stay safe and healthy. So the next time the Osalome show up, I'll pass out. Confiscate their guns and make sure they can't bother you again.
I can't believe her. She's totally going to collect the weapon she gave them and act like nothing happened. He said that it is the commander's job to stay behind and keep the border safe. Yeah, let's leave it at that.
That's a good plan. The border's armor looks pretty... That's a good plan. The border's armor looks pretty tough, but there's no telling what might happen at night. I think they'll be safer in the border than here in Chichen Itza.
Anyway, that went on longer than I planned, especially for a pre-dinner greeting, but I'm done now. You spent all day getting rid of dangerous wildlife, so I'd like you to just eat and get some sleep for tomorrow. Oh, before you go to bed, is there anything you wanted to ask about, Surprise? Well,
Hmm?
I'm curious to know, Kukulkan, who has more authority, you or the king of dinosaurs?
Huh? You mean I didn't tell you?
Who has more authority? So you want to know the chain of command? Yes, that is rather fuzzy. Well, I could tell you who's stronger, but who has more authority? I'm not really sure.
The king of dinosaur is in charge of all things having to do with dino society. His decisions for Chicken Itza take priority. I'm more of a representative of Order in Mictlan as a whole. You could even call me a translator of sorts.
Really? Because I read the records of what happened at the sacrificial altars, and it says you refer to yourself as Mictlan's creator.
Oh, that? That was more of a spur of the moment thing. I kind of just wanted to make myself look good in front of that bastard with the sunglasses. Besides, Mictlan is basically all made up of Earth resources, so if anything, I'm kind of an outsider here. Oh, I know! I really just kind of exist. Nobody asks anything of me, and I don't ask anything of anybody. I've heard that's what the gods of proper human history are like. Is that not the case?
No, that's right. The more transcendent a god's power, the less involved they are with human society. That's what a god should be like, a being whose main purpose is to make people think that they exist. Naturally, phenomena aren't inherently good or evil. It was humans' job to decide which alignment a particular phenomenon fell under. So, does this mean that you're the deification of order in Mictlan as the dinos imagine it?
Yes, I think that's right. Though I couldn't tell you who first imagined that.
So why are you dressed like an ocelotto?
'Cause I wanted to! No, of course it wasn't anything as simple as that. I'm dressed like this 'cause it's, a disguise. Yeah, it's a disguise. I copy an outfit in the style of proper human history so I could blend in better while I was in Mexico City.
I see. A wise decision, as I would expect from you, Kukulkan. However, this is Chichen Itza, not Mexico City. So why not take that outfit off now? Besides, you never wore any clothing before. Yeah, you must be hot with all that cloth covering you, right? How come you're not just going nude, Lady Kukulkan? Wow, impressive. Nude?
That would seem to make a great deal of sense for a god of the dinos. What do you think, Sopras?
Don't be ridiculous, Scion. Kukulkan, please, just keep wearing what you're wearing. It's, very punk. I mean, rock and desperado.
Yes, of course! Though I do get the sense desperado isn't entirely complimentary.
Okay, now that we've all settled down, let's talk about our schedule from tomorrow on. Our main focus is still repairing the stormboarder, but to do that, we'll need to split up into two groups, one for procuring resources and one for making the repairs. Mash, I'd like you to assist Scion with looking over the computer room. Sopras, I'd like you to join the resource team and help collect the materials we need. If you need to go to the jungle, take Nidacris for protection. If you're going around Chichen Itza, then Wakchan will guard you instead. Sorry, I can't. I got some important business to take care of. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. In that case, guess I have no choice but to take on the task of guarding you when you go shopping in Chichen Itza. Damn, what a pain that will be. If it's just the two of you, then you'll probably need a guide. I'll be happy to fulfill that role. You need only ask. Chichen Itza is a peaceful city, but you still never know what might happen. Thanks, Tapu. You're a great help. You know, I still have a lot of things I want to talk to you about. Okay then, everyone, off to bed. We've got a busy day ahead of us tomorrow. Huh? It was a time long before the present, long before the Neogene, the Paleogene, long before the Neogene, the Paleogene, the Cretaceous, the Jurassic, or the Triassic periods. For the Triassic periods, our journey as a species began on a continent 300 million years ago. That's how this cosmic hypothesis, was programmed. Back then, there was only one continent. There was a new world created when three smaller continents collided and fused together. The collision formed mountains, and the mountains formed airflows. The airflows begot rainy seasons, which produced many rivers and countless marshes. I think this should have been began, not begot. I don't know. Was that the correct spelling? Begot. Begot. Probably maybe it was a correction for that? Or was it like part of that? As a newborn. That's a weird things to say like that for begot. Right. I thought it was supposed to be began, but I don't know if this was a correction for saying like begot. Anyway, the airflows begot rainy seasons, which produced many rivers and countless marshes. So many kinds of plants began to grow, and so great woodlands were born on this planet. The forests were made up of great ferns, about 40 meters tall by your measurements. Those ferns were our vessels. They became the new society that kept us alive. The forest continued to grow. Without any natural predators, the insects evolved to become bigger and stronger, and finally became a form of life modern-day humans like yourselves could understand. Our species changed course to match the evolution of those life forms as well. Also, those ferns eventually returned to the ground. Much later, in your time, what remained of them would become the coal you dig up and use. This is why your people call this particular time the Carboniferous. This is why your people called this particular time the Carboniferous period. The insect's time at the top of the food chain was short-lived. It wasn't long before vertebrates appeared. We still remember how astounded, how overjoyed we were back then. Mouths with teeth, or sturdy limbs, heads that extended from the torso. Amniotes, a brand new form of life similar to what you call lizards. It was clear for all to see that they would become the Earth's dominant species. These creatures, born from amniotic eggs with a kind of membranous layer. These creatures born from amniotic eggs with a kind of membranous layer. These eggs were filled with amniotic fluid, which surrounded the young within as they grew and developed. This method of procreation granted the young protection from the outside world in the form of the egg itself. It was a far safer way of giving birth, and one which had not yet been seen. Thanks to amniotic eggs, these life forms no longer needed to remain in water to reproduce, and so life on land became viable. Over many long years, they further divided into synapsids and sauropsids. The ones who survived extinction became the dinosaur ancestors. For 47 million years, they made this land into their own personal paradise. Up to this point, everything has been the same as what transpired in your world. Here, though, our worlds diverge and Mictlan begins. 66 million years ago, this planet faced its third extinction level event. 81% of all aquatic life and 70% of all land vertebrates died as a result. In your timeline, proper human history, this is where the world of the dinosaur came to an end. But this is a Lostbelt. Thanks to a tiny deviation in its path, the meteorite that devastated the Earth arrived 250 million years sooner. Instead of waiting for humans like you to appear much later, we chose the existing creatures to carry the torch of life. We chose the prehistoric children who continue to live on this planet, just like you. And that's where my dream ended. That sounds a lot like the lucid dreams. That sounds a lot like the lucid dreams masters sometimes have as a result of synchronizing their minds with their servants. The voice in the dream said it was the Carboniferous period. The voice in the dream said it was a Carboniferous period, right? Then you must have been seeing a Paleozoic era Earth. The Devonian period, Carboniferous period, and Permian period marked the end of the Paleozoic era. The Mesozoic era of dinosaurs began when the Paleozoic era came to an end. Do you know why all the Paleozoic era creatures died out so fast? The mass extinction events known as the Big Five, right? Yep, exactly. And the biggest of the Big Five is an event that took place at the end of the Permian period. In the case of other mass extinction events, we know exactly what happened. The cause of this third one, though, is still unclear. Some people believe it has happened because of simultaneous volcanic eruptions. Others say meteor impacts. Still, others blame temperature increases from the sudden release of methane from the ocean bottoms. If that mass extinction hadn't happened, life on this planet would probably have evolved very differently from what it is now. After that event, the Mesozoic era, when the dinosaurs reigned supreme, lasted for 180 million years. Followed by the Cenozoic era, which began 66 million years ago and is still going strong. However, no heroic spirit could possibly have memories of that time. Melusine? Well, I guess there might be an exception or two who happen to be around in the Precambrian era. Wait, okay. I guess there might be an exception for two who happen to be around in the Precambrian era. But as a general rule, human heroic spirits, by definition, all lived during the Cenozoic era. The only being who could have possibly showed you anything like that is what the Magecraft world calls an archetype. They're essentially like the planet's brain or memory. An archetype. I must say, Proper Human History tableware is wonderful. I'm especially fond of this cup. We use tableware too, but we've never made so many varieties for different purposes. Oh, I see. So you call this a watering can? Interesting. Would you mind if I kept one as a sample? I can't wait to show this to our resident artisans. I bet they'll be so impressed they'll begin mass production in no time. I can see it now. A brand new type of cup made just for dinos. We can call it Drinky No Spilly. It's going to be a huge hit. Oh, that's the watering can Mash brought back from the border last night. That's not really how watering cans are meant to be used. But I guess it's fine. I guess even with all the advanced knowledge, dinos don't bother with what they deem unessential. But I can see you're not like the rest of them, Tapu. You're extremely curious, aren't you? You really have the spirit of an adventurer. It means you've never forgotten what it's like to be a kid. You think so, Da Vinci? Tapu seems like one of the most mature people I've met, personally. If you mean that I haven't matured mentally from a certain point in my life, then you may well be right. I've never been good at simply accepting things around me as they are without first giving them some thought. As I've told you before, MASH, I never quite fit in. As I've told you before, MASH, I never quite fit in with Dino society, which is why I went off to live on my own. Perhaps our thoughts are closer to people from proper human history than they are to my fellow dinos. At any rate, it's almost time for the sun to begin moving away from its altar, so we should begin repairing the border. Just to be sure, may I ask you all what your immediate schedules are like? Of course, I'm going to go help Scion in the border's computer room. Abatrot is currently in her base from recharging her magical energy at the border. I'm going to look around Chicken Itza with you, Tapu. I heard you can get all kinds of rare ore around here.
And I'm going to be Soapfrost's escort. Also, Nemo Baker asked me to get some ingredients for rations from the jungle. Do you need a guide? The jungle's practically my backyard, so I know it really well.
Why don't you come with us, you Olga Marie? Ah!
Oh, good! I made it! Sorry about the busted wall. Guess it's a little late for that now, though, huh? Anyway, I hope you can forgive me. After all, I came here on a mission. You all, come with me. There's a place I want to show you. I just know you're gonna love it.
Oh, right. You mentioned that yesterday, didn't you? Something about it being the kind of place only powerful dinos could make. That weak Ocelome never could. Alright, let's see this place. It sounds much more interesting than fixing a ship. So, there you have it, Soapfrost. I already have plans. Too bad.
Maybe this is for the best?
You're here already, huh? We only just figured out what everyone's gonna work on. For some reason, the dinos keep coming up and talking my ear off. They're all really inquisitive and friendly, so there hasn't been any trouble. I'm just not really sure how to handle them. Tapu, if they're just here to gawk at us, I'd rather you have them keep their distance.
I understand. This is fairly unusual for dinos. It must be because of the King of Dinosaurs decree.
You mean the one permitting them to discuss proper human history?
Yes, I believe they come to take a look for themselves now that they have permission to do so. I have an idea. Would you be willing to talk to them once you're done with work for the day? I believe that should satisfy the dino's curiosity. What do you say, Mash? Soapfrost?
Are you sure you want us to be the ones to handle that? I think it would be much more productive coming from you, or Scion, or Da Vinci.
No, I think you two are by far the best choice. Don't you agree, Kukulkan?
Yeah, I do. These dinos want to hear about proper human history and Lostbelt from people who've actually lived in those worlds, not from academics. Honestly, I've already heard stories about them myself, but it was so much fun. I kinda want to hear them again.
So where are you gonna do this? I don't think this is a good spot. The other staff be too scared. The dinos make a pretty intimidating first impression, right? So, I think the staff's gonna need some time to get used to them.
Good point. Why don't we have this get together at the shrine then? I'll make sure the king agrees to it. And thank you for choosing your words so carefully, Kadok. I really appreciate it.
I was just telling the truth. That's all. Thanks for, picking a place.
Alright, we're off to the jungle to hunt beasts. We should look for animals without any toxin, yes?
Yeah, the border's food reserves almost ran out while everyone was barricaded inside. Seems like it was so bad that Baker apparently started stirring an empty pot just to feel like she was doing something. So yeah, we definitely need to replenish our meat supply. If you can find fruits or spices too,
even better.
Then we should try the area near the Khan ruins. The trees there should have plenty of what you're looking for. Come on, Needlecrest, Supfrost, let's go.
Near the Khan ruins, okay.
Oh, but watch out. Mictlan turkeys aren't to be trifled. Mictlan turkeys aren't to be trifled with. If you aren't careful, they might end up eating you instead.
Oof. Hmm. What did I pick the last time I was playing my main account? Like, I was speedrunning and then I didn't really use it very much for like Arts or Buster. I know that Kukulkan cannot use her MP until probably Act 13 or 14? I think it's Act 13. Probably around. I think it might be. Okay, I guess I'll bring Oberon, I guess, but I know she can't use her MP yet. But building up more bond points is what I would consider that. Ooh, fuck.
特別に許可します。特別に。ええ、わかります。屍の鏡、暗黒の鏡、扉となる恐怖を心。暗風ねぶた呪戦。ザザーン。天罰。たくさん出ません。
Woo! Got it. Hmm.
日向の火薬の匂い。アヌビス、扉、私の鏡。止めないでね。あくまで華麗に。屍の鏡、暗黒の鏡。扉となる恐怖を心。暗風ねぶた呪戦。 マヤパンターチ。国家二重。
Okay, this part right here. Let me see what you have here. No.
準備いいですか？あくまで軽いでしょう。いい、ナイス。コッパみじん。もうふっと消えたれ。鋭く冷たく。無駄ですよ。
Alright.
お参りしていきます。
Go out.
止めないでね。やったー。いい、ナイス。よそ見厳禁でまだまだここから。でも見てください。この角度決めてみて。次の戦場に案内してください。まだまだ打ち足りません。
That was horrific. What possible reason could there be for those creatures to sound like that? I've never heard anything so awful. Their cries were heavy with regret, remorse, lingering attachment, and unadulterated shame. It felt as though they were fervently blaspheming against every living thing in the world. Whatever had happened to Mictlan being a divine will, where the dead were only tested to save them. You're thinking of proper human history, Mictlan, not this one. Still, that was weird. I know sound waves can mess with your inner ear, but I don't know why they seem to be even more affected on you. Anyway, be extra careful in how you prepare that turkey, and make sure you cook it thoroughly too. Otherwise, we might end up taking in its detestable insolence when we eat it.
Phew, I'm exhausted. Running back and forth between Chicken Itza and the fourth stratum really takes it out of you. Why are we doing this again? I know Master Tapu said it's strengthening our lower bodies, but still. I remember he said it'd be an easy job. That all we'd have to do is gather parts to repair this ship. He didn't tell us how far we'd have to run to do it, or that there'd be Osalome along the way. It's pretty rough. Now, don't be like that, brothers. We're doing this to help our new siblings, remember? Plus, they said we can play Exota on the ship's deck once the repairs are finished. Imagine our beautiful prasses going back and forth in the open sky. Pretty sweet, right? That sounds awesome. Guess we'll just have to keep doing our best. But first, we gotta have Sopros do his part. I call dibs on this seat. Huh? You're gonna tell us about proper human history, right? I thought I was the only brother who was interested in that, but it turns out everyone is. Oh yes, Tapu told us about this. Alright, since Nidacris is here too, why don't we tell you about ancient Egypt? Is that okay with you, Pharaoh Nidacris?
Of course, my reign didn't last very long, but that doesn't make me any less of a pharaoh. I will gladly tell you of life in our glorious kingdom, ancient Egypt's 6th dynasty. And with that, my life as a pharaoh came to an end, and I vanished from the earth without ever visiting the eternal kingdom. This was all back in the 22nd century BC. Afterward, the ancient Egyptian dynasty would continue to flourish until the 1st century AD. Pharaoh Cleopatra did her best till the very end, but ultimately, the Roman Republic changed the course of Egypt's history forever.
Damn, Queenie. Talk about living a hard life. Those evil priests and advisor guys were like Bukab, right? And you've been surrounded by tons of them since you were born. And they manipulated your brother, the king, right after the moment they had him assassinated. So you had to act like they were manipulating you too, all while you were secretly looking for an opportunity to strike them back at them. And then, after years of gritting your teeth and biding your time, you finally managed to gather all the evil conspirators in one place and wipe them out? Damn. Could you do that, brother? It's like if you had to live your life with your Damn, could you do that, brother? It's like if you had to live your life with your entire Xokta team as your enemies. Oh man, no way. I would even last a day. And you didn't just survive, you actually won, Lady Nido. You're even more badass than Lady Kukoken. So this is what gods are capable of? That's way better than our god. All she does is go around taking walks.
Is this your way of telling me the Dainyonchus species have outlived its usefulness? Cause I can wipe you all out just like that. Thank you, but I'm really nothing special. Any pharaoh would have done the same. Besides, if I was truly as good as you say, then instead of executing those conspirators, I would have managed to save my brothers from the assassins sent after them.
Neither, Chris.
That said, there's no denying that my victory was truly spectacular. I'd like to think my brothers were watching from the Eternal Kingdom with pride. Anyway, thank you all for listening so attentively. You were a wonderfully well-behaved audience.
That's just cause you're such a good talker. I felt like I was there watching it all happen. So stories of your history are all like this? Man, it was so sharp, I felt like it was gonna cut my brain. I don't think any of us would last a day in your world. Losing your whole family because of bad guys evil plotting, deceiving, hating, and killing members of your own species. We couldn't possibly deal with anything so cruel. But hearing it as a story, we can totally manage. I guess that's a good thing about stories.
You may be right. But, does this mean you've never had any kind of war in your own history?
Okay, but after all that, there's still one thing I don't get. What was with all that stuff about years and eras? Do you guys just always keep track of time in proper human history? You mean the dinos don't? Wait, hold on. Are you saying Mictlan doesn't have historical eras? You don't keep track of the passage of time in your culture?
That's right. To be honest, I found it strange ever since I started traveling with you. It seems like humans and dinos perceive time very differently. We don't have any concept of what you've been calling years. What you call the past, we simply refer to broadly as before. For us, 100 years ago is just a little before. 1,000 years ago is long before. So our society never gets more complex, like it did in the dynasty Nidokrist so kindly told us about. Counting the years, really, recording our history at all is not something dinos have ever done. There's never been a need. Our way of life has been the same ever since it began long before. To convert it to your measurements, nothing about us has changed for the last 66 million years. Oh. Let's see. I should probably check it later. Anyway,
Okay guys, I've got a quest for you. You know the heat-resistant plating on the Buddhist bow? A lot of it's come off. So I was hoping you could find some quartz for us. Zion says that if you can bring us about 20 tons of quartz, she can alchemically transmute it into what we need.
20 tons? How can we carry 20 tons?
Master is right. Even with his backup final battle Mr. Code, there's simply no way he can carry 20 tons by himself.
Ah, don't be shy. You can just ask me to handle that kind of thing. As long as I can get hold of it, I can carry just about anything. But I guess just any old ore isn't going to cut it, right? Sorry, I'm more of a broad strokes kind of guy. Can I just bring you a whole mountain and call it a day? if you can bring us an entire mountain, do you know of one made up of this substance? It is called obsidian.
As a matter of fact. Oh, right. Back in the second underworld, there was nothing but obsidian mountains as far as we could see.
Great! That's not far from here at all. Let's go grab one right now. I see. So you need a mountain's worth of obsidian. Chop! These sword mountains are a composite myth that overlays Great King's Enma's mindscape onto the Itsachiguato mountain range. Ideally, I would like to keep them all as my swords. Chop! But if you need them to repair Chaldea's ship, then I suppose I have no choice but to let one go. However, I may be willing to part with one, but I can't say the same for my tormentor demons. They're saying, defeat us if you can, and you think you can get rocks that easily? In retrospect, I may have overindulged them. They're a bit pretentious now. Unfounded confidence only leads you and those around you to harm. The best cure for this is a harsh lesson at the school of hard knocks. Yikes, you're a lot harsher than you look. Anyway, you heard her, Silkbrash. Are you okay with this? Is this one of those situations where you need to treat all life as precious or love your enemies or something like that?
Nope. Let's see if you can get a KO by the count of 3.
I see. No mercy for those who would stand in your way, huh? Might makes right and all that. Got it. Well then, I'll leave their bodies intact, but I'll smash their pride to bits. You know, I'm not usually much for violence, but there's something about hearing KO that gets me all fired up.
Oh, right. Nice. Spoiler. Nope. Go back. Hold on. This. Gotta bring this one. Yeah, I can't switch it. Damn it. I really want to use the Mystical to level up, but unfortunately it just didn't work out. I guess I'll just use this one, and then I can't really do anything. That's pretty much. It's this one. And that. And I gotta change this one because I want to switch out. Oh. Ooh.
我が進化よ。玉座の支度はできていますか？お土産はこちらです。お土産はこちらです。
Oh! What? What the hell did I pick up? Mr. Code! Shit! Damn it.
I didn't see that. I was so blind seeing it. I couldn't even tell which is which. Did I waste my AP system? God, I hope not. This one.
弱き者醜き者であれば
どちらのつづらがお好みでまずは一杯
むしろ
どうですか？
うまい手を考えよ
すべて見つめますあまり悩ませないように楽しくお参りしていきます日向の火薬の手に入らない宝具を展開しましょう
気が引けるけどね。
いい判断です慈悲神戸を垂れよ恐怖は希望もなく何人通るにあたわず
Easy one. Alright, next one, AO5. Later. Did they really just blow themselves up?
Don't worry, they were just vowing to have a rematch. I could hear the resolve in their voices. Chop! They said we're going to bulk up even more by the next time we meet, and well fun! We suppose you can have some training stones. Isn't that great? Now this is how a good fairy tale should go, Chop! It's true. Even though they were a bunch of stone statues, they had some real backbone to them. Pounding on them was so satisfying, I'm almost sad I defeated them. Anyway, I'll just be taking one of these mountains to go. Yes! This should cover 20 times, right?
Holy shit.
I didn't think she meant it literally, but I guess that's God's for you. Okay, it looks like she should have no problem collecting and transporting the ore by herself. By the way, is it just you here today? I know Mash is keeping an eye on your ship, but what about that other woman, Chop?
Other woman? You mean... You Olga Marie?
She was every bit as determined as Mash to make sure you came to no harm. So I thought as long as she and Mash were by your side, I could let you go off into Mictlan and rest easy, knowing you'd be completely safe, Chop? Well, I still doubt you'll be in any danger with that jade-haired behemoth following you around now. Did you and you Olga Marie have a fight or something?
No, nothing like that. We just haven't had a chance to talk lately.
I see. Well, I'm glad to hear you two are still good friends, Chop. That said, the heart can be fickle. Even the smallest thing can grow into an impassable rift. So if you need to ask something, then ask it. If you need to apologize, then do it. Once you've grown distance, nothing you say will ever bridge that gap. Every encounter in this life is precious. When you get an opportunity to talk, you can't be afraid to take it, Chop.
More story.
Oh, I see things are going quite well here too. The dinos just don't have any notion of resentment or preconceptions about foreign cultures. We had so many volunteers lining up to help repair the border, we didn't even need to ask anybody. If only humans could take a page from their No, wait. On second thought, that might be a bit hasty. If everyone only ever worked for the benefit of those around them, I'd be out of business. Maybe it is possible to be too understanding. They are smart enough to know when something is sad, but they don't see tragedies as tragic. They have the empathy to understand when someone is frustrated, but they don't recognize injustice as unjust. And while that may work just fine for them, it would drive any neighbor crazy.
There's even more today than yesterday. I know I said I'd permit discussion proper human history, but I didn't think it was going to get this big. Your Majesty, are you here to check up on us? Hell no! I just wanted to kick a sopa ball around, but you people are taking up the whole ground. I just wanted to kick a sopa ball around, okay? This is the only thing I get to do for fun, and now it's ruined. Hey, Chaka, move aside. I'm gonna sit in the back. You want to hear what they have to say, right? Then sit up front. No point holding back. A small guy? Oh.
Oh my, how nice of you to help that shy dinos. You may be foul-mouthed, but you're a considerate kin just the same. May I introduce myself?
Don't bother. You're the one who taught Black Tex Hackler Polka all those things he didn't need to know, right? If you want to hawk your wares in Chicken Itza, go right ahead. I don't think you'll find many dinos looking to buy them, though.
Ouch. True, but ouch. I haven't sold a single item so far. Yes, but that's fine. You can't build a successful business in a day. I'm happy to put in the work. I'm not just here to make money, you know? I've got my eye on much bigger things.
Ah, so that's what you're really after, huh? I can tell that's going to up in flames. Anyway, what you're still standing around for? Can't you see all these dinos waiting for you? Make with the stories already. Tell them about the different worlds you've seen. The kind of what-if tales that never came about in Mictlan. Okay. Hmm?
Yes, good evening. Are you lost, Kotomi? I can show you around if you like.
No, that's alright. I was just about to take a break. I've been patrolling the border to make sure no Osalome sneak abroad, you see?
Oh, thanks. It's hard for our sensors to detect the Osalome since they barely have any magical energy. And since Captain isn't back in full form yet, that'll be a big help.
Oh, I was under the impression that Captain Nemo was fully back in action.
Oh, that? He's just pretending he's fine, like always. Tyon pretends not to notice anything's wrong.
I see. I'll bear that in mind. By the way, is the Storm Border's power generated solely by internal combustion engines?
Huh? What do you mean?
Oh, I was just wondering what we should do about powering the ship if the engines were to stop. I heard you had to barricade yourselves within, in the dark without any electricity when you crashed. That must have been terrible. So I thought, if the ship had some means of drawing power from the outside, you'd be able to restore it that much quicker.
I see. Good thinking as usual, Father. But don't worry, we already have a means in place for collecting energy from external sources. If we had some way to summon 100 servants with the ability to provide power, we could run the ship without the engines at all. Of course, now that the Wandering Sea base is gone, I doubt we'll ever use it again. Oh! I hadn't considered that. Thanks for the inspiration.
So you do have a way to power the ship even if all of its engines were to be destroyed. I'm glad to hear it.
Yep. Though I will also bawl my eyes out if that ever happened.
Wait a sec. You've been spending a lot of time around the border for the last couple days. Shouldn't you be with the foreign guard?
You may wish to choose your words more carefully, Kadok. Throwing the word God around too casually could make this miraculous balancing act come crashing down. Ah, my apologies. Miraculous really doesn't do the situation justice. The present situation is all thanks to Soapfrost and Mash's hard work and healthy, except in mindset. You, on the other hand, don't seem to be nearly as open-minded as them. Once you form an opinion of someone, you don't easily change it. Yeah, that's right. Unlike them, I'm a mage. I can't change my principle on a dime. I'm just old-fashioned like that. I don't see that as a bad thing just now, though. 'Cause, see, Chaldea needs someone around who isn't just gonna go all in on trusting you too, however much you help. As well, you shouldn't. We are aiding so fast, not Chaldea, and temporarily at that. Once the young miss accepts her true position, we will take our leave right away. So it's all up to you, Olga Marie, huh? You're not planning to put a thumb on the scale? Of course not. I have no desire to fight. I only wish to witness the birth of the one yet to arrive. That said, Rasputin's influence has left me with at least some of the emotions any human being ought to have. If I see a poor soul doomed to a life of unhappiness unless something is done, I'm compelled to reach out and help. I'm concerned about the young miss as well, though for very different reasons. This is not a good situation for her. She will have to make a decision herself, or she will only continue to suffer more. And since you agree that would be for the best, I expect I can trust you not to interfere. No, I won't. Even if Mash, Sophrast, and Olga Marie hate me for it. It's better if they part ways before they truly understand each other.
Alright, next one is a boss fight. Well, mini boss fight.
Ah! I can't take it anymore. The engines are gonna fall apart unless we shut them down and tune them up. So that's just what I'm gonna do. Hey, tell Captain Jackass I'm gonna be shutting down all the Triton engines in an hour, and that is gonna take at least 120 hours to completely overhaul them. What about power for the other facilities? Who cares how the rest of the body's doing if the heart gives out? I don't know about you guys, but I ain't planning on killing myself anytime soon. If the captain wants to overrule me, then today's the day I finally challenge him to a duel and become the main Nemo myself. Surprise. Easy there, engineer. Let's just take a breath, okay? Here, try some of Baker's new rock salt ice cream. Nice and cold. I like it. And you don't need to challenge anyone to a duel. I'm completely on board with your plan. I have an idea that will help us supply power for that period of time. We can shut the engines down once I'm set. And as luck would have it, I happened to do a maintenance check on the external power relays just last night. Talk about timely. I'll fill Da Vinci in on the plan. Oh, and I'm gonna need to borrow about 6 or so Marines. I'm gonna help it over here. Sounds like we're going to need a whole bunch of box lunches then. We got plenty of yummy chicken, so I'll make chicken sandwiches for everyone. And that's why we're putting together a hydroelectric generator next. I'll be coming along too this time. A hydroelectric generator? But there aren't any large rivers around here.
The waterfalls from the first underworld.
Oh, you're right, Senpai. We did pass massive waterfalls, and they were every bit as big as Niagara Falls. Yup, Professor got the idea after reading your report. Everything we need is packed into these shipping containers. Normally, just getting everything there would take the better part of 2 days, but... These chicken sandwich things are tasty! But how come I have more than anyone else? As you can see, we already have a porter who will cut that time down considerably.
I'm counting on you to convince her to help us. That's fine, but what about you, Olga Marie? You owe? I'm pretty sure she just stayed in her room all day yesterday. She set out before the sun even arrived today. I expect she'll be back by evening. How does she seem? She's been down in the dumps ever since we came back to Chicken Eats That, so... She seemed to be in extraordinary good spirits.
Ha 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 ha! Rejoice, humanity! My body is fully recovered. So I'm off to destroy Mexico City right now. You should have known I'd never forget the injustice.
Hold on, please, Madame President. Don't you think it's a little too soon to be exercising military force? Yes, the Osalome have been hunting dinos, but only in the jungle. Competition for survival in the jungle is natural for all living creatures. It doesn't merit military intervention.
Even though they're sacrificing dinos on their altars?
Yes, even then. We are not invaders. We may defend ourselves, but we never launch an attack. And yet, the last time we went to Mexico City, we snuck in and disrupted one of their important religious ceremonies. To attack now would be pure aggression. There's no honor in that. Destroying their entire city simply because you are annoyed at them would be a black mark on your presidential record. Or are you thinking of destroying Mexico City not as the ruler of this planet, but for the very personal reason of wanting to improve the opinion certain people have of you?
Of course I'm thinking about this as a sovereign of Earth. I always treat all of humankind equally, no matter the reason. Still, you're right, Tepu. I'm going to go and give myself some time to cool down.
Did something happen with her? She says she was going to go cool down. I don't blame her. Mictlan is very hot right now. But I could tell she was very worried about you two as well. For, well, many reasons.
I see. We've been so busy we haven't had time to talk, and since she hasn't been at the border lately, it hasn't been any easier. But I'm glad it sounds like we'll have a chance to see her this evening.
Yeah.
Oh, come to think of it, where'd Wak-chan run off to? You were still with you, Olga Marie, as of a couple of days ago.
Oh, Wak-chan. I saw him out on the main street last night. His eyes were totally lifeless, like a dead fish. I asked him what was wrong, and he just kept muttering to himself. He said, "Now I've done it. I've really done it this time, and I'm an embarrassment to dinos everywhere." So I decided to leave him alone. I'm sure he'll come back sooner or later, though.
Ouch! Sounds like he got dumped pretty hard. Where in the world did you take her, Wak-chan?
Wak-chan is a warrior, born and bred. The only special talents he has are face punching and body slamming. They're the same. At worst, he may have decided to subject her to his warrior dance for the entire night.
I see. That sounds like a very informative and productive use of time. I wish I could have been there for such a valuable experience. You know, this isn't anything new at this point, but Mash's Shielder spirit is seriously off the charts.
Oh shit.
Get it. No way am I letting you build a generator here. You do understand that this is my home for the time being, right? I've been bored out of my skull all this time, so you better believe I'm going to at least make sure my life here is comfortable. Did you even bother to think what it'd be like for me to live with a generator here? Did it even cross your mind? Will you take responsibility if it short circuits and electrocutes me? Of course not. Not at your pitiful size.
You're an ultra now?
Surprised? Scared? Want to flee in terror? I love seeing the terror in your eyes. I'm guessing you expected a meek, obedient Protea to be here waiting for you? Well, the truth is that here in Mictlan, I am the normal Protea. Last time you were here, I just disabled my authorization to thank you for freeing me from that mask. But I'm done playing at being cute for you. I'm a giant. I don't have time to take orders from a little human. Major Master makes no difference to me. As far as I'm concerned, all you tiny little humans are my slaves. If you don't like that, you can always run away. Just don't be surprised when I smoosh you with one slap of my hand. Just don't be surprised when I smoosh you with one slap of my hand. She's not being cooperative at all. What happened to her? Master's report says she was totally on our side. Yeah, we kind of thought this might happen. You're pretty upset about something, huh, Protea? What is it? Are you hurt? We can take a look if you like. We're used to caring for whales, so it's no trouble. That's a lot of Marines. What happened to the one who was here before? I might be willing to listen to him. That Marine isn't here today, but don't worry. Our feelings are synced up, so we like you just as much as he did. Look, I'm not being overly cautious or feeling anxious or anything like that, okay? I'm just standing up for my rights. I mean, how would you like it if someone built a generator as big as your bed in your room? Yeah, we definitely hate that. Well, engineer would probably love it.
Can't argue there. I wouldn't love it either.
There, you see? Now go on and get out of here before... No, wait. I just had an amazing idea. If you can meet my one condition, I'd be willing to let you build a generator. Wow, really? That would be awesome. With you around, we wouldn't even need any heavy machinery. So you only have one condition. What is it? I want you to fight me again. The idea of letting my laws against the human stand makes me sick to my stomach.
You want to fight us again? With our current firepower?
Right. Of course you don't want to fight me. You know a fluke like that couldn't possibly happen twice. Ugh, you're so small. Not just in body, but in mind too. Living must be so hard when you're that small in every possible sense. Want to try living in my mask instead? So, what do you say, Sir Frost? If you win, I'll help you build your generator and even keep an eye on it as long as you need. But if I win, well, I can't even bring myself to say what's in store for you. But trust me, it'll be good.
Looks like as an altar, she's as competitive as she normally is shy. What you're gonna do, Sir Frost? Pick her up on it? I don't really see that improving her mood, but... Looks like I have no choice but to show her what's up.
Or how about an apology? Complete with an eternally binding contract. You could keep me around as your only Sakura 5 servant and get rid of all your other high servants too, while you're at it. If you're willing to do that, I might be willing to consider... I put the containers down where you asked. What would you like me to do next? Hey! Oh man, Kukoken versus King Protea! This is gonna be the biggest underworld battle ever! A fight, huh? Okay, you got it. This is really exciting, yes! Let's you and I have a good match, young lady. Was I seeing things? Or did that lady just carry an actual mountain of containers here on her own? I must have been seeing things, right?
Yes. Right, double Merlin time? Because, you know. I need, Kukoken to be in there because of the... Like, every attack is, like, weakening the... Like, remove the buffs. Da Vinci, get in there. And then the stars. What else is it? I guess I'll bring Konya, I guess, or the Pretender. Trying to make sure. Yep.
"接触による情報」「いい気持ち」「世界はより小さく矮小に」「黄金律にも種類があるのさ」
Hey, back in line.
この辺りいじった方がいいんじゃないか。お望みのままご要望とあらば。そう
そう
切り込む。
そう鋭く冷たくクイーンストレートクイーンストレート当てます。そっか
何事もやればできるぞ。君の
髪見られてますね。おしとやかに
ご要望とあらば。
いいナイス
切り込む。
そうよそ見全然まだまだこのからいい的ですね。逃げないいい的ですね。
I'm going for it.
おまかせ夢のように片付けよう。おや
いい
行くか。
止めないでね。
切り込む。
そうよそ見全然で翡翠花吹雪クイーンストレートいい的ですね。クイーンストレート
リラックスリラックス。楽園の端にようこそ。
止めないでね。
星の宇宙に物見の海楽園の端から君に聞かせよう。罪なき者のに通るのにガーデン・オブ・アバロン。そう
そうよそ見全然です怖いでしょ。それが政治クイーンストレートいい的ですね。
Alright.
おや
止めないで。やった
切り込む。
ーよそ見全身ですこれが鼻から私クイーンストレートクイーンストレート覚悟できてます。
さてカウンティングオーバー。この辺りいじった方がいいんじゃないか。おや行くかい。
やったー
悪いね。
風はしばしと見てるさ。
Got her.
ナイスファイトグラシアス再戦に乞うご期待ですね。
What the hell kind of seven was that? Hiding Divine Spear up your sleeve is no fair, you coward! Huh? She's not a seven? She's Kukokin, the god of Mictlan? So she's the king of this entire Lostbelt? How is that fair? How did you even get someone like that on your side?
Circumstance and sentiment.
Sentiment? A mutual, unspoken feeling. Wow, so fast! I guess this means you and I are so close we don't even need words to communicate. Anyway, that was a wonderful fight, Kimpotia. I'm sure Xochitono would be glad to lend you his strength. Would it be okay if I shook your hand? It's a great honor for me to meet a hero explorer from proper human history. Last but or not, I guess the fact that your name is Kukauken means you really are a god. I never want to fight you again if I can help it. But here. Happy? Alright, so I just need to open those containers and line up their contents, right? This is so humiliating, but I promise it's a promise. Now, what exactly do I do with all this stuff?
Thanks, Protea. This really is a huge help. Okay, I'd like to start by securing a flat patch of rock. Could I also ask you to help with making the scaffolding?
Oh jeez, what a pain. There's so many different kinds of container here. This is going to be really complicated, isn't it? Maybe I'll disable my authorization and voice all this work on the other Protea. No, I can't do that. She just end up wrecking everything. Were there some dinos here just now?
Oh yeah, they followed the Marines here. Said they'd probably help out too, cause it looked like fun. So I asked the strong dinos to handle the installations and the fast dinos to run the cables. Man, these dinos are all so smart, Kukauken. They understood the concept of electricity in no time at all. It also didn't take them long at all to figure out that we're converting the water's potential energy into kinetic energy.
Right? They may be different from the people of proper human history, but they're just as wonderful in their own way. I'm exhausted. I still have plenty of energy, but all this intricate assembly work is running my mind ragged.
You did great.
I would ask you to pay me back with a command spell, but I see you still don't have all of them back. If you already cleared the second underworld, I guess you'll have to handle the third next. I'm sure you'll need to go to the lower levels eventually, even if it's just to restore your last command spell. Then again, you can always just track down the bat jerk and take them back more directly. I think I like that way better. If he ever shows his ugly face here again, I'm gonna grab him, rip out his spine, and grind him into bat jelly.
The scary part is that I think you're actually capable of that.
By the way, there's one more thing I wanted to ask you. Where's that loud, needy-looking, super annoying woman? You know, Olga Marie?
She's off doing her own thing right now.
I see. No, she's not here. I like how she so obviously looks down on all humans. But it was also obvious she wasn't from this planet. This may be weird coming from me, but she's Chaldea's enemy, right? It was smart to cut ties with her. But if she still insists on tagging along, why not bring her here? I'd be willing to talk to her for you.
Would you really be doing that for me? Either way, you really are still Protea, aren't you?
Cheeky little bastard. It really pisses me off when people act like they have everything figured out. I'm gonna tell you this one more time so you don't get the wrong idea. I'm not kidding when I say I don't care at all about holding back against humans or preserving life. The moment an insect that doesn't know his place talks back to me, I'll squish him on the spot. So please, don't talk to me like you would the other Protea. I don't want to have to wash my hands every time we talk. Good. You're finally scared. That's what I wanted to see. Alright. See you later, itty-bitty command spell-less master. Make sure you can actually hold your own again by the next time I see you.
Sure. Here. Next one is a sort of like a recollection quest in Lostbelt 5. Atlantis part. Let me check again.
Yeah, it is. Taunt. DE. Fuck! Too much. What if I actually changed this one? Because I maxed out her bond. This one. This one. Change this one into that. Alright, back into like a recollection quest.
女
Just
神
in
モー
Lost.
ド降臨たっぷり性能を披露するといたしましょう。はち切れそうでしょ。日向の匂い、火薬の匂い、さあどあまり悩ませて手に入らない好き放題扱ってあげましょう。ベル高らかになれ。ベルトリークアンサル残念十分。はち切れそうでしょ。治療を再開いたしましょう。宝具を展開しましょう。目を背けない。よく言いました。慈悲神戸を垂れよ。恐怖は希望もない。何人通るにあたわず死になさい。アコール多くの欲望に
知恵は不変のものです。いかがですか。
私は
Bye. Thank you.
日向の匂い、火薬の匂い。よく言いました。暗き湖よ来たれ。
ちょっとかわいそうかな。
逃がす者か。慈悲神戸を垂れよ。恐怖は希望もない。何人通るにあたわず。
一時撤退です。手作りですね。
無駄ですよ。無駄ですよ、マスター。
Well, that's a waste right there. Good job.
面倒よーいしょっと。すべて見つめます簡単に終わらないように。
うまい手を考えよう。どう思う。なん僕の力じゃないさ。
宝具を展開しましょう。よく言いました。いい判断です。慈悲神戸を垂れよ。 恐怖は希望もない何人も通るにあたわず。
グッ様、見ててくれましたか、グッ様。勝ちました。
Yes, you did it. No. And that's the story of our adventure in Atlantis. Ooh! Amazing! A world almost entirely covered by water, and so deep too. How permeable was the water? How far could the sunlight travel through it? Did its people have different ways for surviving in each layer, unlike us? If we measured using proper human history's units, I'm told the average depth is about 3,700 meters. The deepest trench supposedly extends downward by over 10,000 meters. I can only imagine the intensity of the pressure and the cold. Would aquatic dinos be able to survive there? Oh, wait, that's probably too deep for them to get anything sunlight. And I suppose no dinos could get by in the world without the sun's blessings.
I see. So Artemis was shot down. I was really hoping for an epic land battle. Still, this Orion guy sounds amazing. Satellite or not, I still can't believe he shot down on a celestial body. I bet he's a gallant, stoic archer with shining eyes. And a fully mechanical body that looks perfect in the moonlight.
Hey, why did Poseidon guy keep calling for someone who wasn't even there? The immediate danger at the time he had to be you. Right, big bro, so fast? So why didn't he shout out your name instead? Like when you're passing or shooting a soccer ball. You're such a child, bro. Can't you tell? It's all about love. Anyway, I want to talk about Hephaestus. Imagine a machine that builds other machines. Oh, and the machine was even bald. Since Hephaestus isn't here to defend himself, I feel I should tell you that machines probably don't go bald. Something about that Timmy guy bothers me, though I can't really tell why. Do you know why, bro? Well, because he was a child just like you. There were things that mattered to him. It just took him too long to realize how important they really were.
I'm glad to see the dinos are enjoying our stories of Atlantis too. At first, I thought telling them about other Lostbelt was a bad idea, but...
It's alright, Mash. This is what the king of dinosaurs, and above all, we ourselves wanted. As for you, Soprast, I must thank you for your judicious and objective account of these events.
Hey, if anything, we should be thanking you. We're really grateful for all you've done. All of you dinos who have showed up to help with repairing the border have been a huge help. And above all, you guys have welcomed us with open arms, even knowing the relationship between proper human history and Lostbelt.
Why is it that's something to be grateful for? We knew you understood, Tapu, but we weren't sure about the others. Ah, now I see. Is it because you come from the correct history, and we come from one that was meant to be pruned away? Then please rest assured, we dinos have never been much for comparing ourselves to others. That guy is more talented than me. That guy is luckier than I am. So I'm going to take what I'm missing and knock him down a peg to even things out. We don't get those kinds of feelings. We just never compare ourselves to others.
You never compare yourselves to others?
That's right. So we also have very little interest in how things could have been different from either of us. We'd much rather hear stories of other possibilities. Quite simply, the dinos are enthralled by the pictures your stories paint. Difficult journeys, enjoyable ones, those you wish to overcome, and those you wish you didn't have to leave behind. You must have experienced so many different kinds. As a result, your very words sparkle with a life of their own. The passion you so clearly feel brings these perished worlds to life for us in the form of your stories. So you dinos are enjoying these stories of Lostbelt as if you've been there yourselves. I didn't think even one of you had a curious bone in your body. And in consequence, I am left entirely unprotected. What happened to my security detail? Well, idiot, I only agreed to become the Dinos King because you said they'd do whatever I told them.
You say that, but weren't you enjoying yourself too, King? Especially the parts with Odysseus. I remember you shouting, "Hell yeah, serves you right," and "Way to go!" You even looked pretty excited.
Idiot, it's not the Lostbelt talk I was enjoying. Anyway, it's time for the sun to rest. Forget other worlds for now and tend to your own lives. Alright, dinos, go on. Get out of here. I want you all back in your own quarters once I light the bonfire. If you still want to talk about these stories, go back home and do it with your families. Time's precious. Don't waste it. I'm returning to the throne. You come too, idiot.
Why? I don't have any business with you right now.
You haven't touched a solar sojourn once since you started hanging around Chaldea, right? Don't you need to hear the whole bunch's opinion to know what's what? Though it's no skin off my nose if you bite the dust as a result.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Okay, everyone. I'm gonna spend the night at the altar. See you all tomorrow.
Looks like everyone's gone home.
Oh, right. I've got some good news for you two. Both the Stormboarder's command room and Kadok's room have been all fixed up. So if you want, you can spend your nights in the border from now on. What do you want to do?
I think I'd like to keep staying at Tapu's house while we're in the city, if that's okay. Me too. Yes, and we can have dinner with Olga Marie. There's a new corn recipes I've been wanting to try. Da Vinci, is something going on with you, Olga Marie?
Yeah, the Chaldea staff came to a consensus about her. Even without her memories, you Olga Marie is dangerous. Above all, she's the enemy waiting for us at the end of all this. But she's also been helpful during our time here. And so, with all of that in mind, none of the staff voted to turn her help away. Having said that, more than half are against her coming aboard the Stormboarder, myself included. If we could negotiate peace with the foreign god, that would be the best possible solution. And yes, as she is now, that's a very real possibility, though admittedly a slim one. You see, once she regains her memories, it's all over. Trismegistus too says that her memory loss is a temporary condition brought on by physical dysfunction. Once she makes a full physical recovery, her memories will return, meaning she'll once more be an enemy of humanity. When that happens, we won't be able to avoid a fight. As we are now, we have no choice against the foreign god, even weakened as she is. For the moment, all we can do is finish repairing the ship before she regains her memories and power, and make sure we have all our ducks in a row. After that, we'll have to make a choice. Do we trust her? Or not? Do we take initiative? Or not?
Meaning, do we strike first or not? Even were the Stormboarder completely repaired, we still wouldn't stand a chance against a fully powered foreign god. That was made pretty clear when we challenged her and lost. So if we're going to attack you, Olga Marie, the foreign god, it has to be now, before she regains her memories. I understand her thinking, but actually doing that would be terrible. Attacking an enemy is one thing, but I refuse to attack an ally who trusts us.
So you're against it. Got it. What about you, Silkbrash? Are you in favor of attacking the foreign god while we have the chance?
No, I could never bring myself to attack a friend.
That's a relief to hear. Now I'm sure things will work out.
Even once you two learned we might be able to win if we launched a preemptive attack, you still refused. You chose emotion over cold logic, and that makes all the difference. For better or worse, humans are reciprocal creatures. If we're treated in a cold and calculating manner, we respond in turn. The same is true of kindness and trust. That means there's an excellent chance your feelings here will lead us to the result we want. Namely, a chance that she will still be our friend when she regains her memories. A chance she'll remain who she is now, that she'll want to remain who she is now, even if she returns to how she was. I think that would be the best possible outcome too. I mean, she looks like she's really enjoying herself now. Even Kaidok said so. As much as Mash's changes shocked me, the changes in her have been an even bigger surprise. I don't know what kind of connection she has to the original Olga Marie, but I guess she's a lot more playful at heart than I realized. Trust me, Cheetahs too may have been great at predicting results, but has no understanding of nuanced feelings like these. So even Kaidok agrees. Yup, so with all of this in mind, I'd like you to keep the relationship you have with you Olga Marie going. I'd still rather she not come aboard the ship, but if you insist, I'm willing to reconsider. The other staff had some pretty legitimate concerns too, but if push comes to shove, I think we can manage to compromise. Anyway, we can't go too far from the border, but I'd like you two to continue staying here in Chichen Itza. Just make sure you're on time for the morning briefing tomorrow. We've been putting it off for a while now, but starting tomorrow, we're resuming our original mission plan. Conquering this Lostbelt and finding ORT. So keep your wits about you. Yes, ma'am. Alright, I'm gonna finish the rest of that act, and then there's some like literary fragment part after that. We're back, Tapu. Where's Olga Marie? Is she back yet? You Olga Marie? No, I don't think she is. I did just see her on the main street though. It looked like she was headed towards the altar. Then we must have just missed her. I'll go look for her. No, let me go. I'd like you to stay here and mash the corn. Mash. Yeah. I'd prefer that too. The corn you crush with your shield is so smooth and soft you can't even tell it used to be corn. Oh, he's holding it. It's by far the best mashed corn I ever had. I'd love to see you use your shield to grind cacao beans next. Oh, thank you. I'm honored. Though I doubt the rest of the Round Table Knights would be happy about this. You Olga Marie! What? I wasn't hiding to avoid an awkward situation or anything. I just felt like a little detour. You know how it is. Sometimes you take a few odd turns when you're flying around. Email Monturn? I wouldn't know. I can't fly. Huh. Right. You can't, can you? I guess humans and dinos have that in common. So, what is it already? You stopped me for a reason, right? We just haven't had a chance to talk lately, so... Well, yeah, 'cause I've been avoiding you. I see. So you're here in your capacity as my secretary. Admirable work ethic. Then I suppose I can head back. I already have a perfect understanding of Chichen Itza layout anyway. At this point, I can handle an Ocelotto invasion no matter what tricks they might pull. Won't even be hard. Not that I have any reason to defend this city. Isn't protecting humankind central to your presidential platform? So, how are things with you? Are the storm border repairs going well?
I've noticed a lot of dinos coming and going. Looks like they're enjoying learning about technology from proper human history. You guys are good at making friends, aren't you? You did the same thing with me.
We're actually resuming our original mission in the command room tomorrow morning.
Oh, you mean the bridge of your ship I visited before? So you managed to restore power. I'd rather not see that Gordov guy's face again, but I'd love to see that place up and running. You said tomorrow morning, right? What kind of mission are you guys going to be resuming?
Having said that, more than half are against her coming aboard the storm border, myself included.
So Frost? Okay, I have to ask. Is it okay if I come along too?
Of course.
Forget it. I changed my mind. I don't care about your ship anyway. Besides, unlike you, I don't need a vehicle to fly. And I only promise to accompany you until you rend the wrist with Chaldea anyway. Go back without me. I still want to spend some more time looking around the sea. But save me some cornbread. I really like it.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I don't know what it is you're apologizing for. But if there's something weighing on your mind, maybe asking about it will help. So, is there anything you want to ask me?
Something I wanted to ask you? Nah.
I see. Good. Honestly, I don't think I could have answered you. Oh, and if you see Wak-chan... Never mind. Just forget it. Anyway, you have an early morning tomorrow, right? Go on then. Shut down for the day and enjoy those dream things or whatever. So, good night.
Okay. Alright, let's finish this one and then the next Act 12 will be the next time on the live stream. Long time no see, President Girl. Have you come for your revenge? I gotta say, I'm amazed you survived that. Guess you're right to call yourself a god. So all three of you are still alive. What an odd quirk of fate that we're all here together at the moment the world ends, even if it is more of a preview. Is this really what you want, David? Kristalia rebelled against the foreign god's machinations. He tried to use his Tree of Emptiness to evolve all of humankind. But you're trying to eradicate us completely. That's no different from the foreign god's efforts to erase human history.
I don't know who I am. Because after that servant killed me, I temporarily reset myself to reduce the strain that comes with the reboot. When I woke up in that cave, all I could remember was my name, my purpose, and information I probably acquired from video records on an external storage unit. I am an alien named Yuoga Marie. My purpose is to take charge of foolish humankind and save this planet. Those two things are all I remembered. I have to say, even dead, I did a stellar job. There was no way anyone could misinterpret something so simple. But, and maybe this was due to my reset, when I lost the ornaments that made me who I am. It exposed some parts of me which I had, until then, been hidden. I began to feel my feelings much more freely. Put differently, my judgment was impaired. I began ignoring my assigned order and instead prioritized my own decisions. And so I chose certain courses of action simply because I thought they were good. I liked doing that. I don't understand why, but when I was traveling with Sopros and Master Chicken Itza, the best word to describe how I felt is fulfilled.
I was also interested in the organization they said they belonged to. When I told them I'd help them, my brain was absolutely flooded with dopamine. And so I just chose to ignore the difference between the Earthlings and myself. I had this sense that everything would kind of work out somehow. Even though I have no idea who I really am.
I'm here. I'm finally here. I'm seeing the best scenery in all Chichen Itza with the most beautiful woman I've ever laid eyes on.
I was completely at a loss for words. After I spent a whole day with Wak-chan the warrior as she showed me around the city. The last place we visited was neither the glamorous meeting hall nor a noisy stadium. It was a tranquil but unremarkable landscape, offering nothing more than a peaceful view of the whole city.
It's pretty, right? Sunlight's great for sure, but I also really like these nighttime lights. They say the bonfire is just to keep darkness away, and that sunless nights are supposed to be for resting. But I like seeing the dino shadows cast by the flames. I like the pictures they paint on the walls. I guess it feels like really living somehow, not just surviving like in the jungle. It's almost like we're leaving behind proof that we exist in places where there usually wouldn't be any. I know they're just shadows, but whenever I see one that looks like my old man, it always reminds me of him.
I didn't say anything in response. I couldn't. Because that's when it really hit me. This is a truly tranquil world. Dino society is downright utopian compared to human society. There's no comparison whatsoever. The fact that the strongest warrior's favorite place wasn't an arena for him to demonstrate his combat prowess, but a quiet place overlooking the entire city was undeniable proof.
Olga, what's wrong? Are you hurt? Did you bang yourself on something? But I don't see any wound.
This is exactly the kind of world I wanted to create before I wound up like this. Even so, I can feel myself rejecting it. It's such a wonderful world, but I know I have no place in it. I am the sort of being who burns places like this to the ground. This is wrong. Too different.
What's different? The way you look? The way you're shaped? I mean, yeah, you're obviously different from us and from Sophrot's group. But that doesn't bother me. All that matters is what's on the inside. Your heart. And your heart is beautiful. Your heart is exactly the color of the stars I saw at the observatory when I was a kid. It's spiky and cool, and it's got all 7 colors of the rainbow. It's not shaped like anyone else's.
My judgment was impaired. I was prioritizing my emotions. That's why I've had it. Go away. Get out of my sight.
Olga? What is it? Why are you so mad?
I always hated lizards. From the first moment I saw you, I've been sick to my stomach. And you have the gall to put yourself on the same level as humanity? A species as ugly and stupid as yours could never be anything like humanity.
Oh.
I was so harsh with him. And so, that dinos who once seemed so free-spirited, so innocent, so larger than life, slunk away, forlorn, seeming like he'd shrunk to half his size. Oh, that's way too far, man. I feel a wave of self-loathing so intense it makes me dizzy. My body's functions begin to fluctuate because of how sorry I feel for what I just did to Wak-chan. I was lashing out, plain and simple. I must be more aggressive, short-tempered, and cowardly than I realized. I didn't have the courage to stop Wak-chan from leaving, or to apologize. Not then. Even now, I don't have the courage to join everyone else, so I'm spending another night, wandering aimlessly alone. Still,
I have no idea what to do. My memory reset was only temporary. I can still remember what I forgot if I see it again. Which is why I test Poka. Seeing him made me remember something. I remember him killing me once, and I remember that when he did, he called me the foreign god. I'm the foreign god? Chaldea's sworn enemy? I may be proud of being an enemy of humanity, but I don't even want to think about being an enemy of Chaldea. I don't think I can go back to Tapu's house right now. Not until I get my emotions sorted out. Wow, I didn't even realize the sun has already left. Those proper human history stories are so interesting. So interesting. There's so much more I wanted to hear about the Lostbelt. That grease place sounded awesome. I'd love to visit it myself. They said machines like the Stormboarder were all over the world. Can you imagine? The main street was filled with dinos talking about Chaldea. I guess Soapfrost is telling them stories about the Lostbelt at the Exaltat shrine. Why would they bother telling the dinos all that? It'll just let the dinos find out who did all this. Maybe Soapfrost and Mash don't know I'm the foreign god. No, of course they don't. If they did, they would never have let me come along with them. Soapfrost doesn't know. Mash doesn't know. Nobody at Chaldea knows. They can't know. They can't. I'm not dinos. I'm not human. I don't belong anywhere. But you know, as much as I'd like to hear more stories... Yeah, I know what you mean. Proper human history stories are fun, but they're also really sad. Fun, but sad. Of course they are. We couldn't ever really be part of that group, no matter how much we might want to. Forget it. I'm just going to stop thinking. I'm going to forget I'm the foreign god and go back to who I was before I went to Mexico City. But just when I was about to completely give in to desperation...
Hey, there you are. Hey!
I saw Soapfrost waving and coming my way.
I see. Had a bit of broke up with Wak Chan. Or break up, let's just say. Anyway, we'll continue next time for these section 12. Go to bed because it's almost 10:30 p.m. local time on my end. So I'll see you guys in the next part of the Lostbelt 7 Nahui Mictlan. So take care, have a good night, and see you guys next part of live stream. Peace out.